that probably is a big problem for them, even though they've proceeded this far along, not divulging all the information.
And there are lots of reports about these contemporaneous notes that
Yes.
James Comey was holding on to, that apparently he felt very disturbed about his interactions with the president, and that he even said, reportedly, that the president needed to be trained about, how to interact with the intelligence. So if Comey does go forward and does testify, how much is to be expected that the bulk of that kind of apprehension or worry that Comey had will also be laid all out?
Well, and that would be there. One thing that I am wondering if the committee will do, will they ask for Comey's notes? Okay, will Comey assert any kind of ownership or privilege? I imagine these are subpoenaable documents. And let's just see first, if I were doing this as an investigator, or as an investigative journalist, first let's see what you wrote down, because that will inform the questions that I ask.
Because in court, you would submit those notes, it would be evidence, but as it pertains to hearings on the Hill,
you would have that.
Whether he would just read it or actually submit.
And if this was a case, and you were my lawyer, you would have deposed. You would have deposed the witness beforehand too, which a congressional committee could do. I don't think they would in this case. So it's not it could be in the end, if Comey says I feel pressured, that is a conclusion he will come to. But these notes he has are important. If there are recordings in the Oval Office or not, that becomes a big
But
story.
Comey's testimony won't solidify whether indeed there are recordings or not.
But you would think if they're going down that route, that if the issue is what was Comey pressured, well, we could find out by what he says. We could find out what the recording says, because isn't that the core of what we're about? His recollection of the conversation or recording of the conversation. Now, what you conclude from that, of course, is what his interpretation will be. But if there is recording, and the president has suggested there is, I would think that the Senate probably in the beginning needs to tidy that up one way or the other. David,
I was just going to say, we may or may not find out about the notes, may or may not find out about recording. I think the headline, though, if Comey doesn't testify on Thursday, is, does he say, yeah, my version of events is true, or the president's version of events is true? Did the president try to tell Director Comey to slow down or shut down?
Right, and one can safely assume that Comey may have already talked with special counsel Mueller to see, what he should be able to testify, publicly.
An open session.
So as not to interfere with his investigation. All right, David, Lynn, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, don't miss a minute of James Comey's testimony just 5 days from now, this Thursday. Watch our special coverage.